welcome or welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you hanging out with me today on this Monday. It is Monday, July 7th when I'm recording this. And again, thanks for stopping by. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything and it's a huge help to me and I'd really appreciate it. We are going to work on some roulette nails today. Now, I already did my set of roulette nails for this round, but honestly, it is medium shovels, turquoise, blooming gel, shells, and the theme is water. So many nail ideas came to my head that I was like, you know what, we're going to do another set, which I've done before. So that's what we're going to do today. I hope everyone had a fabulous and very safe 4th of July. With that, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So these are actually, here, let me zoom in just a little bit. So these are the ones I actually did, and I have a video that's coming out on Friday for them. And they have the turquoise color. There's actually seashells in the nail polish. So that's kind of cool. And then I found those cute charms, and I'm like, put blooming gel over everything and kind of bloomed my swirly, like, waves. So that's what that one is. But what I want to do today, which I'm excited about, oh my goodness, so excited about, is I want to do a set, again, obviously medium shovels, because that's what it is. But I want to do some more, try to do some more encapsulation and things like that. So I figured I would take you along for the ride. Let me grab everything and we will be right back. Alrighty, so these are most definitely not medium shovels, as we know, right? These are way, way too long. I mean, that's not a medium anything. These are actually the 5X squares from Email Couture, but we are gonna cut these babies down. So I want to use, yes, 2s are a size I never use for myself. So anytime I'm doing nails, and I've talked about this before, I always gravitate towards pulling out nails that I'm never going to use on myself, right? So I don't have anything on my fingers that those size 2s are going to fit. So that's what we're going to use. But before we do that, let me show you this one. On Saturday, we did nail improv with the ladies from Lip Smacking Nails, the nail group I'm a part of. And this is the nail I came up with for nail improv. I very much like it. I think it turned out very cute. But we're going to use this nail stand, so that's why I brought it up. First, excuse me, we for sure need to cut these babies down. So we're going to probably cut them down to, we're going to actually take them to where they won't go any smaller. Like I can't push them any farther through this to cut them. Whew. Because again, medium shovels. I hate medium anything, I'll be honest. I'm not a medium gal about anything. So, but now we have some medium squares. One is a little longer than the other, so we will file it down some. But we do need to make them into shovels anyways, right? Shovels, we have to round the edges. So let me grab my nail file and let's take care of that. We need to get these edges rounded. Ooh, before that, I don't know what I'm thinking. Let me grab my disposable towel. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. So did you just see that thing fly across the room? All I'm going to do on these is round them a little bit. I'm going to take this one down so that it's the same length as the other one, because obviously that would be an issue. And a little bit more. So I'm going to take them down to the same length, and then I'm going to sort of round them, which just, breaks my heart anytime we round an edge. But hey, I am the one who put Chauvel in there, so I really shouldn't complain about it, right? If I was a shape I didn't like, I shouldn't have included it in nail roulette. I just personally like the corners of my nails very, very, very straight, very sharp. So I've never been a Chauvel gal. Never, never, never. But, you know, that's why we do nail roulette, so that it's something that's, you know, outside our comfort zone, things that we say we would never normally do. I would never normally do a Chauvel, and now here I am doing a Chauvel for y'all tonight. So it was a good Monday for me. I feel like I got a lot accomplished at work before I headed home. So that's always fun to start out your week on a positive note, right? Because I have been starting on some of my weeks on not such a positive note lately. This one, we started on a positive note. Just a lot going on, you know. In the world, there's a lot going on. I'm very, very, yeah. I just am praying that everyone comes out the other side and makes it through it. You know, what's going on in Texas is heartbreaking. The flooding down there, it's terrifying. You know, and of course it's, again, innocent children who unfortunately are the ones who take the brunt of these things, it feels like, you know. Can't imagine those parents, what they're going through right now. My heart goes out to them. Alrighty, so we have a Chauvel. This one still feels a little longer to me. I want them to be roughly the same length. And yes, this one is a lot longer. So you know what? We're going to take out another 2 and cut it down and see if we can get it cut a little bit closer to the length we're looking to do here. I'm going to go with this one. Yeah, this is a little better. I feel like this one is just a little too short. This is closer to a medium Chauvel, at least a medium Chauvel that I'll do. All right, so let's again work on the corners of this one and make it a Chauvel. I keep saying Chauvel. It's a squovel. Why do I say Chauvel? So here's the thing. I said Chauvel and got it stuck in my head, right? And now every time I try to say squovel, I say Chauvel. It's the same thing with poor Nana Ange. So I love Ange. Nana Ange is amazing. And yeah, for like a few days there, I kept calling her Anna Nange instead of Nana Ange. So it's the same thing with this. It's squovel, and I keep saying Chauvel. I don't know why. Probably because I freaking don't like this shape and never do anything with it. All right, that feels better. Let's wipe these down. I have an itchy finger today. But to be honest with you, it's probably the fact that I abhor this shape, which is very funny because, again, nail roulette is my my collab that we do every couple of weeks. We're going to start doing, actually, I do have a couple of announcements. Nail roulette is going to go to once a month instead of every 2 weeks, just because there's a lot of other things I am involved in, and I want to make sure to be able to do all of them. So, okay, now that we have our squovel, nails, oh gosh, I swear. We are going to look at all the things I pulled out. So I pulled out a bunch of seashells, right? So let's take the lid off of this so we can see what we have. I pulled all of these out. I finally got the lighting on my camera not fixed, but adjusted correctly, because I had been arguing with the lighting on my camera for
a hot second trying to get it dialed in, you know what I mean? So that it's dialed in where you have, it actually gives you a good representation. Hold on, I have the camera slightly. A good representation of what you're doing. And I was always fiddling with it, trying to get it to do what I wanted it to do and to give you a true representation of what we were doing. And I feel like I finally have it dialed in. I'm like, everything is the correct color. The white is white instead of like blue or gray that I have to adjust afterwards. Very annoying. But what we're going to do is we are going to take this turquoise, right? And we are going to put a base of turquoise on these nails. So first, what is on that nail? Hold on. Let me wipe this nail down because it feels bumpy on the outside. That's so bizarre. It like literally felt bumpy on the outside of this nail. No clue what that was. All right, so we wiped that down. We're going to put a coat of this turquoise down first. And it's just such a pretty turquoise. This is, I don't have a lot of cream polishes. Any of my cream polishes, for the most part, not all of them, but for the most part, are going to be an eye gel beauty color because those are the ones I started with, where my original collection was eye gel beauty. And what I have now are a lot of the syrup gels. I fucking love syrup gels. I think I've told this to you before. I love syrup gels. And my first set of nails I did for this collab were with syrup gels. I did a layering of 2 different syrup gels that actually had seashell in them, right? So those polishes were a layering of a blue and a green to make that turquoise, but they already had shells in them. What we're going to do with this one is we are going to put our base of turquoise on, right? And then we're going to bloom some white polish over it, kind of like bubbles, that kind of thing. So it's going to be a very thin, oops, sorry, I turned that off, I didn't mean to. It's going to be a very translucent, almost said thin, but a very translucent white because I want it to kind of be, these are going to be sort of underwater nails. The other ones were more like at the beach, like literally at the wave line, right? The shoreline. My thought with these are just like truly under the water, ocean, middle of the ocean type of situation with these nails is what I was thinking. So we're going to start with our base of turquoise on our squovels. I can't believe I said shovel about 957 times at the beginning of this video. I feel like I should be one of those people who, like, you're watching the video, right, and all of a sudden like you can tell they've obviously dubbed one word, where you're going along talking and all of a sudden you'll hear me say squovel and it won't even go anything like match the sentence at all. It'd be kind of funny actually to do that. Okay, there we go. We have our 2 coats. We are going to use a few of these different colored seashells. So I do want to use, I think this is a very pretty one with, it's got like a little bit of blue, green with a little bit of a tan in it. So I'm going to use that. I do want to use one of these. It's a darker blue. So basically what I'm looking to do is a few different color shells. So we grabbed a few out of there. Let's put the lids back on because we don't want to lose any of these. And now we're going to grab a few of these. I think this would be a fun one to use. And, ooh, look at that dark one. That's beautiful. Wow. I wonder if there's a way I'd be able to, because I want to keep that circle. We're going to try to keep the circle on that one. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but I think it would be so cool if we were able to just like take little pieces off the edge of that until we get the circle, which is what I'm going to try to do. So I'm just using my nippers, and I'm trying to nip off part of this shell. I literally hit my mouse and stopped recording. I don't want to take too big of pieces, and I don't want the pieces to fly away because I want to use them. That one, I have no idea where it went. But I'm trying to save that little circle piece there. Not sure if we're going to be able to. I had a piece just literally fly across the room behind me. Because this is real shell here, real abalone shell. Sometimes when they say it's like you're looking at the shell, it's not truly like the real, like it's not real shell. But this is a real abalone, piece of abalone shell. I mean, how cool would that look, right? With maybe a little pearl or something. Try to cut off this little edge over here, because I have little pearls. So if I did that and I took one of these pearls, right, and I put it like right there, it would almost, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh, I'm totally doing that. All right, I want to break these other ones up. Let's see if I can break them up, because I want to use smaller pieces of shell. You can like literally feel that like break kind of like hard in your hand. Some of it is very like, you're like, oh shit, I'm going to hurt myself. I'm just trying to break these pieces of shell up a little bit more, but I don't want them to like fly away. So I'm trying to hold on to them as I cut them. And you can really feel it on some of them. Like that one's not so much. That one I probably can break this way. Exactly. So I'm trying to, these are going to be thin enough that I can do that. All right. So now we have a bunch of shell pieces, right, that we can put in our, I wonder if I can get this one to break so it's not so dang straight. Oh yeah, that was much easier than I thought it was going to be, actually. All right, so we're going to place some of, I'm not sure about that piece though. Let me look at it. That sharp edge right there just makes me a little nervous. Okay. Alrighty. So first things first, we're going to get out our dupe. And I also have these turquoise, I mean, come on. Look how cute that's going to be. I know it's turquoise, but, oh, I almost started putting things on. I don't want to do that yet. I want to mix up and get my blooming gel out because we need to bloom everything. So let me grab my blooming gel here. I'm using my Beetles blooming gel. And then I'm going to grab a milky white, and I'm going to actually even thin it out a little bit more. And then we will go from there. So I'll be right back. And this is what honestly happens all the time when I'm doing nails. I have an idea of how I think it's going to work. And then I start to go doing it, and I'm like, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that at all. So do not be scared to say, you know what, back up. This isn't what I thought I wanted to do. So now what we're going to do with this is, oh, there's some, One sec. There's something in it there. Let's see if we can get that out. It could be just air bubbles. I think it was just air bubbles, to be honest with you. Okay. So we're going to kind of like do it like where it's the layers of water. Because remember, this is, again, just the background to put all of our stuff on. But I kind of want it to just bloom, 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 bloom. So we're just going to let this bloom like a mofo. I'm just going to let that sit and bloom. It's a little hard out. And have I put blooming gel on this yet? I can't tell. I'll know in a second if I have. Why, yes, I have. I did not want to touch that, but I was like, it looks awfully shiny. I think I've got blooming gel on it. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Sorry. Just, my phone just lit up with breaking news. I'm not a big fan of it lately. Alrighty. So I think what I might get out to is another shade of blue. So we're going to just kind of put this way, and we're going to do a little bit of this way. Just waiting for it to move. All right, I'm feeling better about that one. Let's look at it this way. Again, holding it upside down for a little while, because I do not want those bulbous thick sidewalls. That is one thing with blooming gel. It will most definitely give you thicker sidewalls if you're not paying attention. And I don't want to wipe it down because it's going to affect what we've got on there already. So we're going to throw this away. We do not need this anymore. We're going to grab our first nail. Let's put the lids on everything. And now is when we're going to grab that Vendini. This is the dupe for the Crazy Top. And I'm going to put it on here. The reason I'm using this is it will give you a nice shine. It'll hold those stones, whatever we're putting on it, right where we want it. And it does self-level quite nicely. Especially if you get the sides of the nail. I I know I'm not the only person who misses the sidewall, but I just have to laugh because I know I have a problem with it. And then somehow I still sometimes end up missing the sidewalls completely. Now, this one, I can honestly say I did not miss the sidewall. Okay, let's get our brush holder. What I'm thinking is if I can get this to go, do I do it down here? Yes, I think I'm going to do it down here, like more like it's truly a clamshell type thing. And then I want a few other pieces of shell in our nail. And we are going to, once we cure this, we're actually going to go back over these pieces of shell and encapsulate them a little bit more. I don't know if I like that one, to be honest with you. Oh, that's because I had it turned the wrong direction. If you turn it the right way, you'll really love the color on it. So we've got some shells down here, right? And then I'm thinking let's open this. Maybe a few little stones. Ooh. I do want to put some of these out as well. Because there's little pieces in here I want to use. So like the little glass balls and things like that. Oh, dropped it. Oh my God, there's a little seahorse right there. So I am basically taking a little bit of all of these things that were in this sort of seashell kind of mix and using that. So like we've got this big turquoise stone we're going to use. We're going to put that sucker right there. Got a glass one there. Maybe a piece of seashell here. Okay, so I'm kind of just trying to Just going to keep adding until I feel like I've gotten enough of what I want on there and where I want it. Because I want this to kind of be the ocean bed floor. So maybe one little gold shell here. Actually, I think I'm going to take this piece off here. You can stay there. I am going to use you on the other nail. But I'm going to put this little gold shell there. And then another glass ball there, and then a few glass balls like kind of going up like they are bubbles. So it's a very, like, I'm not sure I would wear this nail because I would catch it on everything. But we're going for more towards like a kind of an abstract look here. And do I want, ooh, I think I want, nope, I don't want that. Anything else in here I want? Yes, I want those shells. This will eventually all get poured into a different container. Because I did see a couple of shells in here that I did want. So like I want that shell for the other nail. I like that one's a little larger. A couple little smaller ones. Okay. I feel like I want to do a little bit of some of these other pieces of stone and rock right here. All right, and you. Now, mind you, again, remember I said I'm going to encapsulate all of these things I'm putting on now. Our little there we go. Okay, so it's kind of like our ocean floor. I'm not sure about that one now that I put it on. I feel like it's too big. Let's do a tinier, much tinier. Oh, that's not what I was looking for at all. This is. I needed a much tinier one, I felt like, and it would look better. And I was correct. Okay. Take this one out. We're going to put this one in. These are some cray-cray nails. All right, so all right, let's start with this one, making sure we get the sidewall on this side and on this side. Yeah, I'm much happier. Yes, it took like 4 tries to get the blooming where I wanted it. But again, it's one of those things that we talk about. If it's one of those, if you're not happy with how it's looking, don't cure it. You don't have to. No one says you must put that in the lamp and cure it. Wipe it off. I mean, come on. All right, so now that one had the big old shell on it, right? So this one, we are going to put a starfish on.
So this one gets the blue starfish. And get some seashell pieces. Probably this one that I realized I had turned the wrong direction when I put it on the nail. It's much shinier on this side. Okay. Not quite sure where that fell, but good times, good times. Let's use, I definitely want to use, I saw another squiggly in here. I want to use this squiggly. And then I want, what is the flatter side? Okay, and little balls. And bigger pieces of chunks of shell. There's some of that pretty blue shell over here. And some of these shells, as soon as we put a top coat on this, are just going to pop out like crazy. And let's use this gold shell here, shall we? I think I'm going to put it like right there. And then I think I want, I thought I saw, and it's funny because it's one of those things that's probably like right in front of my face. Ooh, I want to use some white shell. I think that would be kind of interesting, but you are too big of a piece. Maybe over here we'll put a piece of you like right underneath there. Let's take our other one out because we want it to be kind of like, you know, same amount of decoration. Let's put some in this one. Let's do this lovely yellow piece here. That adds some fun pop of color. Maybe a little bit over here. And, ooh, here's a little cute little pink piece. I think that would look cute. All right, so we've got that. I think you need, if I am not mistaken, you need this piece of shell, I think. Right? Anything else I want to use before I grab that? More balls. And then a couple of little shiny stones. Rhinestone here and there. I may end up top coating those rhinestones. I hope my head is not in frame. I may end up top coating those if I can't go around them, but we will see. I have one more squiggly. Oh, I do. I just feel like it looks better with having multiples of those little squigglies, like they're almost like a sea creature. All right. Cure, cure, cure. Now, I am going to top coat these things, like I said, but we are going to top coat them, and we're going to use this as our top coat to go over them. I'm going to try to stay off of the stones, but if I can't, I can't. I do want to encapsulate all of this because I want it to look like it's underwater. So I'm going to put a little bit of a thicker coat on this than I would a regular nail, because again, this is just for fun. This is a fashion nail, as we would say, right? No one's wearing this nail out. But if I can get everything encapsulated without covering the rhinestones, I will be so excited. So far, so good. All right, let's take them out and see what they look like. Move our disposable towel. We're going to reuse that one because it's still good. I think they turned out kind of cute. Yes, me. I'm happy with them. So now we have multiples. So now that I look at these, I want to change the ends on these. I think these are just too round on the end. So let's square them off some. I think that looks better that way. Okay, so those are our two sets of designs that we did for roulette nails. So I am loving them both. I think they're both fun. Fun, fun, fun. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Again, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Let me know in the comments below, which one of these did you like better? I mean, I feel like I like the squareness of this one better because these nails are just, it was a set of nails that you can cut down into the shape you want, right? So they can be a coffin, they can be a stiletto, an almond, a square. They just don't give the same feel as like these squares do. You know what I mean? But thank you, thank you. Again, medium swovels. There you go. Turquoise, blooming gel, shells, and the theme was water. I feel like we kind of nailed it with our two different designs. Have a great day. And I want to wish you all peace, love, and joy. I love y'all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.